There is a verse. You have prayed with it, sung about it, even taught it to your children. But what if I told you? Jesus wept over this verse, not because it brought life, but because it was the very door that could quietly destroy your soul. And right now, you might still be praying with it, completely unaware. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what this verse is, where it came from, and why using it, even with the best intentions, can lead you straight into spiritual darkness. Stay with me to the end, because I will also reveal the 3 hidden signs that show whether this verse has already started destroying your soul, without you even realizing it. When we think of prayer, we imagine hope, faith, peace. But the enemy is clever. Sometimes, the most dangerous weapon he uses against us is hidden inside something that looks completely harmless. Imagine a child holding a snake, thinking it's a toy. That's how many of us are holding this verse, clutching it close to our hearts while it coils around our very spirit. In just a few minutes, I'll reveal how this verse was twisted from its original meaning, and why Jesus warned his disciples in a way that's been misunderstood for centuries. The verse I'm talking about is one many believers quote when they feel desperate, hopeless, or abandoned. It's been placed on bookmarks, printed on t-shirts, preached from pulpits, yet it carries a meaning so twisted, it makes heaven mourn. But before I reveal the verse, we need to first understand a terrifying truth. How the enemy managed to slip it into common Christian practice without you even questioning it. You see, even Satan quoted scripture. In the wilderness, he tempted Jesus, using the very words of God, but twisting them ever so slightly. Matthew 4:6. If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down. The devil even quoted Psalm 91. Not because scripture is weak, but because scripture, when misused, becomes a trap. Misapplied truth is the deadliest lie. In just a few minutes, I'll expose exactly how church traditions unknowingly help spread this destructive verse, and why most pastors today still don't recognize it. Now, let's finally uncover the verse that caused Jesus to weep. It's a verse often paraphrased like this: Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. John 11:21. Martha said this to Jesus after Lazarus died. Sounds innocent, right? But listen carefully. It's a prayer of blame, a prayer that accuses God of abandoning us, a prayer born out of doubt, not faith. When Martha said those words, Jesus wept. Not because he lacked power, not because Lazarus was dead, but because his children, even those closest to him, still doubted his goodness. Every time you pray a prayer soaked in doubt, every time you secretly question God's timing, his love, his plan, it breaks his heart. And that is how your soul begins to die, not all at once, but with tiny cracks of distrust. How do you know if this verse, or prayers like it, have begun to erode your soul? Look for these 3 signs. Sign 1, bitterness toward God. You find it harder and harder to trust God during hardships. Sign 2, spiritual numbness. Worship feels empty, prayer feels forced. You hear sermons, but your heart doesn't move anymore. Sign 3, obsession with why God. You become trapped in a cycle of questioning God's motives instead of trusting his heart. But don't panic, there's still hope. In a moment, I'll show you a powerful replacement prayer Jesus himself taught. The prayer that heals these cracks in your soul and restores your faith to life again. Jesus didn't leave us weeping. He showed Martha. And he's showing you the true prayer that breathes life, not death. It's simple. I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who was to come into the world. John 11:27. This is the declaration that unlocks miracles, not a prayer of blame, not a prayer of sorrow, but a prayer of resurrection. Today, you have the chance to stop praying from a place of doubt and start praying from a place of unwavering trust. If this message opened your eyes, if you felt that stirring in your soul, then don't leave without making a commitment today. Type in the comments, "I choose trust over doubt." Let's flood this video with declarations of faith that shake the very gates of hell. Jesus is not weeping today because of you. He's smiling because you chose to trust again. When you pray with doubt, you bury your soul. When you pray with faith, you resurrect your destiny.